Welcome. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at these Piinade replacement lawnmower blades for a Toro riding mower. So these were provided to me by the distributor, but they're not compensating me for this video and they're not reviewing it before I post it. If you find this video helpful and you want to purchase one of these, I'll put a link to them in the description on Amazon, and if you use that link, it helps me out a little bit and doesn't cost you anything extra. So this fits a number of different Toro riding mowers. It fits mowers with a 42-inch deck. So some of the models are the TimeCutter Z4200, Z4220, Z4235. So the model I'll be installing them on is the 4235. So let's get these open. So these are two blades. They appear to have almost even like a powder coat on them. See, the length here is 21.5 inches. The width is 2 1/4, maybe just below 2 1/4 inches. The hole is 5/8. And here's the thickness. Looks like about 5/32. And I looked on the Amazon description and confirmed that is 5/32 thick. So these blades would be a good replacement for the stock blades, because I'll measure the cutting length here is around 7 1/4. So these blades do need to be sharpened. So I'm going to take these over to my shop and sharpen them, but it does have the black finish on the blade. So as you're sharpening this, you can use that to tell if you're doing it evenly. So if you have the leading edge here is shiny, but the other part is not, make sure you tilt it in a little bit or vice versa. So we'll head over to my shop and get these sharpened. Okay, so I have the blade in a vise here, and I'm going to use a grinder to sharpen it up. But there are many tools you can use. You could even use a file. So here you can see, I just tried to remove the black evenly. There's a part in here in the middle where it's black, but that's fine. Now I just need to flatten the back just a little bit. So now that's pretty sharp. So I'm going to repeat that on all 4 edges. And this is just the way I sharpen, but there are many ways to sharpen, and you can use whatever method you feel most comfortable with. Next, you can balance these. So I have a little balance tool somewhere, I'm not sure where it's at, but I tend to just clamp a screwdriver, or I have a 1/4 inch extension here, and put the blade on it and see if it favors one side or the other. And this seems to be fairly well balanced here. And the other one was the same. So if one side sinks down, you can grind on that side to lighten it up a little bit. But I wouldn't expect these to be too far out of balance being brand new. So it's a rainy day, so I'm not going to be putting these on today. So I have these ready to go. The next clip, I'll be installing these on the mower. Okay, so I'm out here at the TimeCutter Z4235, and here I have the blade. So I've disconnected the battery and disconnected the spark plugs to make sure this doesn't start on me. I'm inserting this clip actually after I did everything. I didn't talk about how I lifted the mower, so I actually just lifted this up by hand and put a jack stand under here. You could also take a jack and lift it up and then put a jack stand under it to support it. So I think this is a 16mm socket. It fits on there. There might be a SE equivalent, but I've got a socket and a breaker bar. So I'll break that loose. So you can get a block of wood or something to hold the blade. I'm just going to hold it with my hand, and I have some gloves on. Now this blade is very, very dull right now. If it's sharp, you need to be very careful. And that loosened very easily. So now I'm going to switch to a flex head ratchet. This actually has a longer handle than my breaker bar. Okay, so here are the two blades side by side. So you can see the new blade has a longer cutting edge than this one. It's almost like twice as long. And they're the same height in the middle. I mean, this is dirty, but if you rub your finger across, they're pretty much at the same height there. And this is the OEM blade. And then you can see this is kind of curved up here, and this is curved up a little bit different here. So I'll put this on the reverse of taking this one off, and I'll clean this up just a little bit. It's not very dirty. Okay, so I've tightened it up with a ratchet to pretty tight, but I'll finish off with the torque wrench, and I have it set to 65 foot-pounds, but you'll probably want to look for your model to see the exact torque. Okay, so I'm going to repeat the procedure on the other side. I'm not going to film that. One of the hardest parts of this was having the camera in my way, but otherwise it was pretty straightforward. Okay, I have both sets of blades on. Let's do a start up here. So that's a lot quieter. That's a lot smoother than the old blades. Okay, here's some grass. You can see it looks like there's a pretty good cut there. Let's go take a look at the blade. Here's the blade here, still looking very sharp. So I just mowed my whole yard. I don't know the exact square footage of my yard, but I think this blade's gonna work well. So that's the Piinade replacement blades for a Toro TimeCutter 4235. So the original blades I had on here are dull. I can sharpen those back up, and then I can swap them out and then sharpen these and just swap them back and forth. It's going to be a lot more convenient than having to take them out and sharpen them and put them back on. I can separate those two tasks out. But if you're looking for some replacement blades for your Toro TimeCutter, I think this is a great option. At least in my case, they're pretty easy to install. But that's all I'm going to cover in this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you like this video, please click like. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate if you could do that. And thanks for watching. Until next time, goodbye.